quote, "In light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs of our great American citizens, I will be signing an executive order to temporarily suspend immigration into the United States." Notice the word there, temporarily, but it's already coming under attack from the left, just like those decisions to stop travel from China, to stop travel from Europe came under attack. The left is already seizing on this. This is about protecting Americans' jobs as we begin to reopen and making sure that Americans get the first crack at those jobs that become available because people have been unemployed. And then it's only a temporary ban. It also is for our safety. If we have flattened our curve, if we're at a point where we're starting to reopen, as states are, and we can go state by state now and tell you about that. If you have specific questions about your state, we can answer those questions today now because of what your governors are starting to say. You want to make sure we're in the safest, we're doing it in the safest way possible.
You put a pause in place now because what's happening in Europe and other countries, China included, but other parts of the world, is inconsistent approaches to the pandemic. So why would you import more medical difficulties at this particular time? So why not take a pause out, get all the testing in place, they're making sure that's going to work. Now their FDA's authorized the first at-home coronavirus test. I am a huge advocate, a really big advocate of immigration, legal immigration. We're a country built on immigration. But there are times in our history, this is one of them, where you have to take action.
I think context is very important here because these are the same critics, Jay, who were standing in the way of this administration trying to get better operational control of the border. And I would just tell you, if there were better operational control of the border, this pause might not be necessary, or it might not need to be as serious or as drastic as is being proposed now.
This is already drawing criticism from the left. Now, remember, the president oftentimes points out that it was the same Democrat liberals in Congress who criticized him for banning the travel from China and then banning the travel from Europe, which now the doctors like Fauci and Birx and the CDC have said are really the main reason why the U.S. has not had a worse outbreak of COVID-19. The president had to fight this on, remember, the travel ban, and he won at the Supreme Court. And part of the reason why he won is the Immigration and Nationalization Act of Section 212F says that the president has the power to ban travel or ban entry into the United States from any individual who is a detriment to U.S. interest. And right now, because of the COVID-19 and this pandemic, which has spread around the world, as he likes to talk about, 184 or 185 countries so far that have active cases, that would certainly be a potential that those individuals are detrimental as we are working hard as Americans to beat this pandemic in our country first so that we can reopen our businesses for Americans, but also for the world, so we can begin exporting more goods, importing more goods as well. So it helps the whole world if America's economy gets back on track.
I think what we have to do is say, okay, what is the president doing, and is it constitutional? First of all, it's constitutional. He has the constitutional authority to do this. Isn't prudent? Sure, it's prudent. It's prudent in the context of, in the middle of a pandemic, let's not add a complex nature of a pandemic where we have to check people coming in, check their medical records, give them tests. Just take a pause for a little bit. We're not talking about, not talking about 2 years here. He's talking about months to get our hand around how we reopen the United States of America, which the president's trying to do, which we all want to see happen. But it's got to happen in a particular way. And adding immigration aspects to it right now would be dangerous. It would put, I think, people in harm's way, including our own citizens. And that's what we're trying to avoid.